Here we are then, back for some more Aston Martin Road to Glory here today for the Dutch Grand Prix, and this I believe is round 15 of the season, so we have not many races left now as we're getting to crunch time and we have to start, really trying to score some points in these final races. Now before we jump into this one, if you haven't seen the last one, go check it out, the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa, link in the top right, go check it out because spoilers are ahead. So 3, 2, 1, you've been warned. After the last race, we had an engine failure and we didn't receive any extra R&D points from that, which was a bit of a shame. The failure in question was the MGUH, and this is an issue because the other two that we have are very, very worn. So for this race, we're essentially not going to qualify. We're going to start from the back as we're going to have to take a penalty. So we may as well use this as an opportunity to go ahead and stack up on some extra parts in other areas. And that should hopefully get the engines that we need to the end of the season without having to take any more penalties in future races. The downside is that this track isn't the best for overtaking. So taking a penalty here and starting last really isn't what you want to be doing. But then again, we've struggled to kind of get out of Q1 this season on most races, so it doesn't make a huge difference. Regardless, you just saw me purchase another upgrade for the aerodynamics in a moment ago just for the next race, and that's going to add on to our already kind of existing upgrades. You can see we're going to go for the harder tyre allocation because we're not going to qualify, so there's no point having softs. We may as well accumulate mediums and hards for the race and give ourselves all the strategy options possible. Weather forecast says rain possibly at the end of the race, and in terms of the R&D graph, you can see we're actually bottom again as Williams overtake us, and Red Bull also pull away a little bit out front. But for the most part, not a huge change, and the field spread continues to be pretty tight. We have 4 upgrades on the way, 2 major, 2 minor. If they arrive, it could bring us right up to Haas's level if it all goes well. But hopefully, we have no failures and we can get them all in the car and basically start to improve race by race as it is getting to crunch time now. So practice went off without a hitch, car working very well, and pace seems not too bad. We had, as you can see here, had a pretty decent second lap. Third lap dropped off a little bit. Tyre wear also not too bad, to be fair. And yeah, we're looking pretty decent after that. So as you can see, after practice, we brought in a pretty decent amount of points, and we're also going to get a bunch of discounts, along with also leveling up on the driver acclaim from level 7 to level 8. So yeah, that was pretty much it, guys, for the updates and also practice. Qualifying, I retired straight away. To my surprise, George Russell, Alex Albon also retired, whether that was because of an actual retirement or they maybe crashed or something on track, I don't know. But Stroll, P16, just missed out on getting into Q2, albeit by 0.3. And yeah, we're going to see what happens in the race. Starting from the back, we've got nothing to lose, a fresh engine, so let's give it some and let's try and turn this one around, hopefully trying to score some points.
Welcome along then to the North Sea coast and to the Zandvoort circuit, 25 miles away from Amsterdam, for today's Dutch Grand Prix. It's a race the great Jim Clark won on 4 occasions, leading for an astonishing total of 370 laps. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Sergio Perez, and Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Gasly, and Valtteri Bottas. Magnussen, Leclerc, they've taken a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher, and Stroll, Albon, Russell, Martinez, and Yuki Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Joe and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Natalie Pinkham. Thanks for joining us, Natalie, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So, with the cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Here we are then for the race at Zandvoort, and you may have noticed we're starting 17th. We're not starting last, which means some other cars have taken much heavier penalties than us, so somehow we've actually started from a pretty normal grid position, albeit taking an engine penalty, so we've been blessed in disguise pretty much. Anyway, strategy for this one is going to be a medium to hard tyre strap. I don't think the soft tyre is where you want to be. They did say on the game to start on softs and go for the hards. Also, that rain at the end could be interesting. So we'll basically play it by ear. I was tempted to start on the hard tyre, but I'm not convinced I'll be competitive enough. So I just want to play it safe and stay in the race and, you know, kind of be competitive for the most part. So we'll start in the mediums and see what happens. I'm going to go 0.5 extra on the fuel, which should be fine. And we've also got +2, +4 on the tyre pressures, as always, on the fronts and rears. So let's get into it and let's get this show on the road. Here we go. The lights are on. Let's try and get a good start. Away we go. It's a good initial phase. Second phase, like always, not so great. I was going to try and go on the outside. I'm still going to try it and have a look. Majority of cars on softs though, by the looks of it, so we've got to be careful here as we are essentially in a bit of a mismatch situation. We'll try and have a look around the outside of the banker. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Stroll out of control into the barrier. Could we get an early safety car? Looks like no. Stroll's got himself going again, so we'll continue on as normal. Russell's going to be hard to keep behind on that soft tyre. Don't think it's going to last very long. But for now, we've gained 3 places up to P14. Lovely move around the outside of the hairpin. And we've got a few cars on mediums ahead. Bottas on mediums, so let's try and chase after him. That's going to be a bit more of a realistic target. Here comes Russell. Having a look up the inside. Hits us right in the side pod. Luckily for once, no damage. We get a slice of luck. Bottas overtaken by Schumacher. I might just let Russell go here. It's not my battle to fight. It could be a better car to follow. So let's see. Here goes George. Oh, never mind. He's got damage. Okay. Right. Clearly from that contact by driving to the side of me, that's going to give him end play damage. So P14, and we're looking at Bottas now for P13. So let's. Okay, noted. Let's get after Bottas. Magnussen's ahead of us as well, so could be a few places up for grabs. And that's going to be a miserable start to the race for Lance. Anyway, let's get a head down. Let's start a push. Let's see what the straight line speed's saying. We may get a chance to pass Bottas here. DRS enabled. Now when we cross the line, so starting from the lap after, we'll get a chance to use it. Magnussen being overtaken by one of the Ferraris.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Leclerc through on Magnussen. Magnussen on soft, so it would be nice to pass him. Gonna have a look around the outside of Bottas here. Gonna get into a drag race. I think we've got the legs here, you know. Side by side. Bit of contact into the corner, but they're still going side by side. Leaving the space. But we're going to get the inside line there. And lock that one down. That's a nice pass. And now we're on the back of both Haas cars. Let's see if Schumacher makes a move here with the DRS. On his own teammate. Bottas not close enough for a re-challenge. Schumacher, Magnussen, side by side. Of course, Magnussen with car issues. Let's see if we can pick him off on the main straight into turn 1. Good exit. There we go. We'll probably just bomb it around the outside as we have a working car. And there we go, lovely. Excellent start to this race, really good. Bending the walls a little bit, bending the battles, but our car is still intact in one piece, and we're up to P12. Let's try and stick with Schumacher. Keeping up with Schumacher now, quite easily, without having to use any battery. Also got a nice healthy gap over Bottas and Tsunoda. So this is going well for us. This is a decent little race phase. The car feels really nice to drive. But we just have a bit of a gap to the cars ahead in the top 10, so We'll see if things maybe start to happen. There is a bit of a train ahead. Maybe they battle and lose a bit of time. Either way, we're just chilling for now and also trying to recharge the battery. Oh my god. Whoa. Whew. Second time this race we've had an incident right in front of our face. You know what, I don't half mind that. I was going to literally go for the pass on Schumacher on the main straight because I felt like I was faster. So let's see what the pace is like in clean air. Cars ahead on mediums. Let's see if we can try and keep them at that 5-6 second window. Okay, pace is pretty good to be fair. Matching my personal best without DRS or battery use. So that's encouraging. Didn't lose much on that last lap at all to the cars ahead. Battery's now fully charged up. Used a little bit in the second half of the lap. Absolutely nailed it, and we're going to set a personal best. 13.5 by 3/10. Managed to gain a little bit of time on the cars ahead in that lap, so let's see if we can keep that trend going. Really good pace though so far. Tyres getting a little bit hot as I'm starting to push quite a bit. Leclerc's now overtaken Gasly and Ocon and is now pulling them both along, so he's going to be running at a stronger pace and probably making their pace stronger, so it's going to be harder to keep up.
Tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
We'll ask for a weather update in a moment, just to get an idea if the rain is inbound.
Conditions look stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
First warning. Can't actually chicane just a bit too much. Right, we're going to box. Hopefully, no dramas. I've stretched out my stint by one more lap. That's now the pit entry. 60 kilometers an hour. Perfect. Gasly in with us. Can we hold him up? I don't think we can. We're a bit too far back. It's a shame. Anyway, onto the hard tire. No dramas. We've heard nothing about the rain, so we're going to treat it as a normal race. 2.2 by the way. Excellent stop from the boys.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
We'll see what the pace is like on the cold rubber. Try and be aggressive here and switch these tyres on. Let's get back to it. I was running at a really good pace. I was tempted to go a bit longer actually, but still, it's all good. Gap to Pierre 4.3. We've actually gained a bit in the pit stop phase, but we'll probably lose a bit now on cold tyres as I always do. Okay, Ocon doesn't pit. Stays out another lap. Sonoda Zhou in the pit lane. So we'll get a full lap here to undercut Ocon. Not saying that we will, but we can try and close the gap a little bit. Okay, Ocon now is in the pit lane. Let's see where we are. Russell also in the pit lane, who's trying to recover personal best on that lap. So no sign of Ocon. He has rejoined actually ahead of Gasly, so he's got the overcut going. Fair play Ocon, that's an incredible overcut. Alpine showing some good pace. He's on cold tyres though, so their battle's probably going to continue as P, I'm assuming, will get in DRS range. But we need them to actually scrap.
Information on Alonso. They seem to have an issue.
Well, I think Alonso's ahead of us. I think he's ahead, so he may drop our way. That might just move us into the points if we get lucky. I'm going to give up on the chase for now. I'm going to go back to battery saving mode and basically get ready if anything was to happen. But for now, I've got no battery left. I've got nothing really to fight for. Just outside the points. We need a bit of luck to go away now. A personal best without using any battery. That's interesting. I guess we can keep the pace up, which is good, but we are losing a bit of time now to Ocon and Gasly. I wonder what Alonso's status is. I can see him ahead. He's dropping back. He's ahead of Ocon, so let's hope his issues continue a bit longer. Okay, using the battery now. On for a personal best. Alonso's holding up Ocon, Gasly ahead, so they're battling. So now's the time to push 13-0. Although I do just wonder if Alonso's car is going to fix because he's not under pressure anymore. So he's actually starting to pull them along now, which is what I don't want. Gap down to 3.7, but we're out of battery again. Another personal best, but we're going to have to go back to conserve mode now. Nothing's happening. Alonso is up and running again, so unless the three battle really heavily, there's not a lot in it left for us. Russell, another fastest lap, absolutely flying. Just at a 12-0. Full second faster than us, and the pace isn't dropping, so Russell will be on to us very soon. Oh my god. What is going on? Again, the turbocharger's gone. I don't believe it. That is unbelievable.
A difficult race then on a circuit that demands complete concentration, but they've persevered to take the win here today. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those that we've witnessed today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Oh dear, there we go. A race done in Zandvoort. Back-to-back consecutive DNFs. I don't know what it is with this game, man. And also F1 2021 as well. They both have the same issue. If you take a new engine, one of those components always seems to go pop when it's fresh. It's really weird. In the first two races, it will just go. Anyway, Verstappen wins, Sainz second, Perez third, ahead of Hamilton. Norris P5, first in the McLaren ahead of Leclerc, and Ricciardo. Alonso in the end finishes P8 ahead of Ocon and Russell. So, yeah, not sure, to be fair, how that would have gone. I think Russell would have caught me, and I was planning on essentially trying to follow and stick with him in the tow and use the battery to kind of keep up, and maybe he'd drag us towards the two Alpines and Gasly. So we may have had a chance actually on that strategy, but I guess we'll never know. At the points, Gasly, Bottas, Schumacher, Tsunoda, Zhou, Magnussen, Albon, Latifi, Stroll, lap down, last place, and then we finish as the official DNF. So, yeah, a really poor couple of races, especially when we had actually decent pace in Spa and Zandvoort. So, it's a real shame that we haven't really picked up any points in the last two races. In the Drivers' Championship, nothing much really changes. We're still 11th and we're still 3 points ahead of Magnussen. In the Constructors, we're still P7, 1 point ahead Haas, and 6 behind AlphaTauri. So, yeah guys, there's a lot for this one. Hopefully we can bounce back in Monza next time out. Fingers crossed, we shouldn't have to take an engine pen. So, yeah, either way, we'll deal with that one in the next episode. Leave a like and subscribe. As always, guys, a big shout out to the members. Check out the 2 videos on your screen if you haven't seen them already, as always. And I'll see all of you in the next one. Take care, and let's go back from me.